Hello and welcome to Cali Legends Media. Okay, so just based on the thumbnail, you can tell this video is going to be regarding 16 to life. Okay, not him in particular. It was something that he mentioned in one of his videos that stood out to me. And the video that he mentioned it on was a video that he was responding to Dubs on. I guess they had some type of conflict for a while. I guess from what I understand, watching the videos of both guys, Dubs and 16 to life, Dubs and Gunner went live. You could tell they were really on a good one. I mean, it appeared that way. I can't say, oh yeah, they were, but they look pretty pedote to me. I could be wrong. Nevertheless, somebody got at them and told them, hey, you know what, 16 to life just dropped a video on you, Dubs. And Dubs went off, went off on dude, came at him a little bit foul. And it was serious enough for Dubs to give him a call the next day. I believe it was the following day. If not, it was the day after that. But I think it was the following day. Dub called Chill, who's the content creator for 16 to Life, and told him, hey, man, you know what? What was said, this and that, blah, blah, blah. Anyways, the phone call supposedly ended good. I don't know exactly what was shared, but apparently there was apologies made and everything ended up being all right. I'm basing that off of the video that 16 to Life did, the one that I want to talk about, where he made a comment towards the end of his video that I thought was very important. Something that I hope everybody caught, but most people probably missed it, okay? In any case, it comes down to this, okay? People react differently towards these videos, reaction videos, response videos. And that being said, someone could respond respectfully, or they could respond in a way that they feel is a good way to respond in reaction to the way that person got at them, In any case, a lot of times we come out of our character, or we expose ourselves. You could look at it either way, okay? Now, Dubs does what he does, and apparently not no little itty bitty channel like mine is going to tell somebody like Dubs and Gunner how to act or how to make money or what is good or bad. They seem to be doing just fine without my opinion, okay? Nevertheless, I got to mention these things in order for you to understand what this video is about. So we have this situation with Dubs and Chill from 16 to Life, right? We had a similar situation with a guy, I believe his name is Jerry. Could be Johnny, I don't know, but dude that came out on Soft White Underbelly and different podcasts, right? I could have sworn I heard the Enemigo. We'll see. Yeah, they're creepy. Anyways, so what happens is they get into it with each other, and I don't know if Dubs had been drinking or not. Based on seeing Dubs in different modes of behavior, I think probably he had a couple of drinks, but he was pissed, when he's talking to this dude, and basically threatened his family, on social media, and was talking about pretty much dealing with him in like manner, Like I say, people respond the way they're being the way people are getting at him, you know. I believe that this situation with 16 to Life and Dubs, I don't think it was really called for him to come off that way. He should have went and watched Chill's video first on 16 to Life and got an idea what the guy was saying, how he was saying it, what he meant to say, you know. And if there was any question, he should have given him a call. Hey, Chill, because they got each other's number. Hey, Chill, what's up with this, man? You know, all right, okay, well, I understand. Well, just so you know, I'm gonna do a response video on that, you know. So, anyways, man, you have a good day, man. It wasn't that serious, you know. But I think what it is was Dubs already fed up with all of the shenanigans. You know what I mean? I think everybody and their brother and mother and sister and uncles made videos about Dubs. You know, it's gotten that bad. You know, and maybe he was frustrated, and then with the alcohol, he was like, you know, this dude, you know, he's a pussy, and you know, like, man, he got it. I'm kind of fucked up. You know, I would have handled it differently. I would have probably got all twisted up, all up in my feelings. You know what I mean? But Chill is a lot more chill than people like me and Dubs, you know. In any case, it is what it is, you know. But you know what? Regardless of all this shit that's going on, what 16 to Life mentioned at the end of his video really caught my ear real quick, because I do it sometimes, okay? And that's we lose focus on what's important. We lose focus, or at least I do, on what it is I'm trying to do, you know. I get in my feelings and stuff, and I might act or say a certain way, in a certain way, that doesn't reflect the message that I'm trying to share with my homies, with my elders, with my gente my age, and with the youngsters, you know. But like I said, we all react differently when somebody says something about us, or you know, especially if it's not true. We forget about the important things like freedom, family, helping the youth, health, wealth, you know, and we go back into that, I'm not going to say killer mentality, but fight mentality, you know. And a lot of it's just from growing up that way. You got to understand, Dub's been through YA. He's been incarcerated a lot, and he's learned to react a certain way. And I think sometimes he just loses focus, you know, whether it's drinking or it's anger, you know, controlling anger. And I'm guilty of that too, you know. You know, it's just something that was mentioned, and I think it was very important to bring that little sentence out, you know. I think content creators sometimes lose sight of the things that are important, and like Chill says, they take a different road, you know, and speak of things that can be detrimental to not only to our cause, not only to helping people, because people will be watching, you know, and they'll be saying, "Oh man, I thought dude was like this. Oh, I thought dude had enough of that, and still he's bringing this stuff up. Why is he talking about that? You know, I thought he was trying to speak against that kind of lifestyle." It sounds like he's glorifying it. And I get that a lot, you know. I get that a lot when I tell true crime stories, or people ask me questions about back in the days, you know, about beefs or football games or something. And I go into it, and you know, I bring out maybe when a football game didn't go bad, and we got in a fight, and you know, and all this, and it sounds like I'm glorifying this and trying to relive my life, relive my youth through YouTube. But it's not that. I'm trying to make an illustration on what the life was like, you know. And maybe to some people that is attractive and that is interesting, you know. But I never share it that way, you know. I'm trying to show that it's not an easy life, you know, and it could lead to bad places, you know. But anyways, I wanted to bring that little end of that video. I'm gonna post it on the description channel. Both videos, the one of Dubs exploding on 16 to Life without even seeing his video and stuff, and of 16 to Life responding. And I'm gonna put a timestamp on when he made this comment that really I felt like he was talking about me. You know, have you ever gone to church and you'll be sitting in church and you'll be listening to the dude up there, you know, preacher, pastor, father, whatever he is, and it sounds like he sounds like he's talking only to you. You know what I mean? I don't know if any of you's experienced that, man, but I've been, you know, especially when I was younger, I'd be sitting there and it sounded like somebody told him about me and he's talking directly at me, you know? And when Chill mentioned this, I was like, shit, man, he could be talking to me. You know what I mean? I think a lot of us do that. A lot of content creators do that, you know? And we'll be pointing the finger and three fingers are pointing back at us, you know? It's a real slippery slope, man, when you get into reaction videos and response videos, or when you speak about somebody. And it may not be necessarily talking about them. It's talking about maybe something they said, something they believed in that you don't actually agree with, and you want to, you know, speak on your belief, what you think, you know, your experience. And I guess sometimes people get offended even by that. But nevertheless, we're going to keep doing what we do, you know, and I'm sure I'll slip up here and there, and I'll you know, that old man tries to fight his way back and get me how does this High Power Fitness say, kind of get me rambling, you know, or however he says it, you know, and off subject. And yeah, but glorifying the life that I lived, man, it was more difficult, and it was more of a struggle than anything, you know, and it cost me a lot, you know. It cost me a lot of years. It cost me a lot of success that I could have been enjoying. It cost me a lot of money, you know. So all that being said, you know, to the content creators that even care about this, about what we do, those of us that are trying to do this, I think we have to be careful of how we conduct ourselves in social media, man, because thousands and thousands of people are watching and listening. People from other countries, people, you know, and they have gangs over there too, you know, and they have prisons over there too, and they're living their life, or maybe they had lived their life in the same similar situations as us down here, you know. I have people from Australia, Ireland, all kinds of countries that you'd be surprised, you know, and they, you know, England. They talk about the prisons over there, and you know, it's not like that over here. I was surprised to hear that, and you know, so people all over the world are going through different struggles that may be related to something you're speaking about. But then when you go and get off all out of character and everything, it kind of like cools people down. It's like, man, I thought this dude was, you know, was real with this, you know. So I think we got to be careful, those of us that are trying to do this and trying to help the youth not get caught up, help the people not go back to prison and be part of that recidivism, right? And help people not go back to using drugs, whether it's smoking or injecting or anything. It's all horrible and foul, and a lot of times, you know, we get brought up growing up in that life that we don't see it, you know. So a lot of times I might talk about it just to point out how sick we are to do that, you know. It's sick for you to stick something in your arm, you know. That's, if you just never done it and you see somebody do it, man, you'd be disgusted, you know. And it's like sickening, you know. It's bad. It's a bad thing. So I try to like discourage on drugs, discourage on gangs, and really stress how beautiful it is to be free from both, from imprisonment and from being caught up and strung out, and having to get up every day or every other day to go get something so that you could just feel normal, not even get high anymore, man. It's a horrible life, you know. Being free is so nice, you know, and family so beautiful, and being around my loved ones, man. I can't get enough, you know, of the people that love me and that I love, you know. It's just it's what life's all about, you know. Anyways, people, I'm gonna end this video with that. Please stay free. Let's think with a clear head and make good decisions so we don't end up behind bars, or in prison with things that imprison our mind, our soul, and our body. You know, let's do the damn thing, and enjoy your freedom, enjoy your family. God bless you. God bless your family. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit that like button. And if you haven't subscribed, please hit that subscription button down below. It says subscribe. Go ahead and press that. Press the notification bell. Put it on all, and you'll be notified whenever a new video pops up. We talk about different subjects. I try to switch it up so it's not about the same thing. Some people complain about that. Some people like that. But we do what we do here, and you're welcome to join us. Thank you very much. Appreciate you. See you on the next video.